Tune in to Heel of the Ring podcast on the Sports Jedi Network channel. May the sports be with you, because I am the hero the Sports Jedi deserves, but not the one it needs right now. Long live Lexus King.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Heel of the Ring podcast here on the Sports Jedi Network YouTube channel and the Heel of the Ring podcast playback TV app, where you watch the watch along with us and react as a live wrestling happens right in front of us, and we coming together as a community to watch along. Also, those that were tuning into Good Morning Wrestling, of course, with Samuel Lyons. Thank you for joining us this day today. It's a special one. It is WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania week, and man, I had to make a video at least for night one. Tonight is going to be night one preview. Saturday, of course, we'll get the matches, we'll get all that going in there. Appreciate everyone joining us here, of course, for my predictions and preview and all that good stuff. But without said, let's get right into that, man. Let's go. It's WrestleMania. Hope you guys are excited like I am. We're going to be watching along on the playback app. We'll be definitely showing that. We'll be definitely going right into it. There, here we go. There's the card. And let's get this here. Here you got seven matches added on here. Total of 13 matches right now for night one and night two. I think 7 is a nice sweet spot there for, as you can see, all the card. Unfortunately, some of the performers are left out, like Chelsea Green, or Chelsea Green deserves to be in a WrestleMania or earn a spot in the WrestleMania card, but who do you take out? Who do you remove? Who do you leave off of it? Someone are also the Street Profits, your tag team champions as well, for the SmackDown brand, but they'll be in the main event closing out SmackDown. It's a tough one. You have your Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal coming up. That's where you're going to showcase a lot of the wrestlers that are not at the WrestleMania card. But it'll be interesting to see how they go here. And of course, the IWC and the wrestling community continues to go up in arms on who was left out, who isn't going to be in the card, who was there, who was not. Listen, you have to trust the creative process that the WWE has with everyone on top. They're going to deliver. Remember, one of the criticisms for other wrestling companies is the card is too stacked. It's too long. We don't need a show ending at 12:30 where media scrum at 1:30. We heard that a couple weeks ago for the other company, for All Elite Wrestling. We don't want that to be too convoluted, too long. It's in Vegas. I understand it's a different time zone. It's a 3-hour time zone, but for the East Coast, a lot of things revolve around the East Coast time. 7 o'clock East Coast time. You're looking at 4 o'clock Pacific. It's a really good show there, especially once it's over, all the after parties and all that stuff for WrestleMania. But let's get right in. The first question I want to ask you guys, I don't know if you agree or disagree with me. We could agree to disagree, because no matter what we say, there's always going to be someone who see it different. What is the opening contest? What would you do if you were a booker, if you had the creative pencil or the pen? And I'll say, here, I need you to, here's the matches. Here's the 7-match card. Who opens the show? We all know who's going to close it in the triple threat. What opens the contest? You want to start off where the crowd is buzzing, the crowd is excited, the crowd is hyped up, probably after a national anthem or some type of welcome to WrestleMania, the Stephanie McMahon or someone returning, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Could be telling everyone to welcome to WrestleMania, whatever the case is, whoever it gets that privilege and that honor to welcome the crowd of Vegas and welcome to WrestleMania. You kick it off. Where match. And if I had the creative pencil, man, this is a tough one. I know it's going to sound a little bit out of the blue. The odds-on favorite looks like it's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion with Gunther versus Jey Uso, because you want to start the card off hot, right? If Jay's going over with everyone yeeting and everyone going yeeting and going bananas and crazy, I'm going to be a little different. I will start off with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I will give them plenty of time to get this battle, this feud, this kind of personal rivalry feud that's been building. You know, like it or not, if you like their build or you dislike the build with the promo battle, who went off script, who went into business for herself, whatever the case is, now it's time for the action. And this is where I think Tiffany has to put on one of her best wrestling matches in her career. I got to give kudos to last Friday Night SmackDown to seeing Roxanne Perez versus Tiffany Stratton. Seeing me personally being in the building, of course, everyone knows I live in Orlando, Florida. Of course, going to the Performance Center for NXT 2.0 a lot of times for about a year and a half. Got to see that breakout match between Roxanne Perez and Tiffany Stratton up close and personal, watching Tiffany just develop right in front of our eyes as a performer, as a wrestler. When she went away for some injury or some enhancements, whatever you want to call, she returned, and she continued to excel and continue to be on the Tiffy top. So our when NXT women run. And that match with Roxanne Perez, from seeing it from them up close and seeing it on SmackDown, so proud of the ladies working so hard and put on a hell of a banger of a match for a Friday Night SmackDown. In that crowd, it was a great sight to see in Sacramento. That was really good. Kudos, ladies. And she's gonna have to bring that A game if she's going up against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. I will have that match go on first, and there's a reason why, because I'm building a story when it comes to Roman Reigns and that triple threat and the bloodline. Bloodline has been off. Bloodline, the story, let's face it, the bloodline story after pretty much Cody dismantled it and dismised it due to the Gregors crying with the pink robe and Cody needed to be the champion and Solo Sikoa and Roman's light schedule. The bloodline hasn't been the same. And that bloodline storyline was the pinnacle backbone storyline of the company that bled and had tentacles into so many other storylines. And we're going to try to revive it. At least if I had the pencil, just hear me out. Have an open mind. Please have an open mind with my thoughts. If I had to create a pencil, how would I would do this? Of course, you have Tiffany and Charlotte. I will have Charlotte go over on Tiffany. Yes, I know Tiffany. I watched her from the day one, and she's a great competitor. She is the future. She is so young. She is one of the future women wrestlers of the WWE for at least the next 10 years, barring injury or barring if she wants to be, have children and go off for maternity. You could still do both. We've seen Becky. We've seen Ronda. We've seen so many other Alexa Blitz. You've seen so many other females, talented wrestling females, have a family as well and also have a wrestling career, Beth Phoenix and so forth. I will have Tiffany be on the chase in the summer for Charlotte. I keep saying it time and time again. I don't want to sound like a broken record for those that follow me and listen to me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. For those that are going to listen to me for the very first time or hear my take for the very first time, I've been saying this for quite some time now, for a few months. I think SummerSlam in the summer in MetLife is going to be really the WrestleMania of 2025, the big showcase. Of course, this is the showcase of the Immortals this coming weekend. WrestleMania, of course, you can't top that. But I think WWE is going to put marquee matches up or put a lot of marquee matchup storylines. So there is a lot of great interest in those two nights at MetLife Stadium. You know, you want people now in the summer would go with their kids. MetLife or the outskirts of New York City, tri-state area, is more of a family-friendly type of venue or city that you could come and go. You could drive if you're up and down the East Coast. You could drive over to MetLife, stay, Six Flags. You visit New York City. You could go to Hershey Park, Sesame Place, all those places nearby in this vicinity. Make a trip out of it. My point is, over Vegas, where it's not too much of a kids friendly, although they have sold 55,000 seats each night, so it looked like they're going to get over 100, 105, 110,000 for both nights at WrestleMania. And there's still tickets available. That's what I saw. If you saw on WrestleTix, they're uber expensive. I don't know if they'll sell every seat in the house. I think there'll be a couple thousand short. Doesn't mean it wasn't a success. It just was too expensive, in my opinion. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the review here of night number one. And if I had to create a pencil, why would I have Charlotte go over? Tiffany now drawing momentum of the babyface chase. Remember, Cody had a chase for a year. Cody had a chase and people drew. And I'm not comparing Cody and Tiffany Stratton because Cody showed us that torn pec that a lot of fans felt sympathy and said, whoa, he's actually willing to wrestle with and love this sport, this profession so much that he wrestled with a torn pec. I don't know if Tiffany might have that Tiffy moment or that Tiffy epiphany, like she says, where she overcomes something versus Charlotte during her title run. We let that for creative play out. I mean, I know it's a chance that you take. Also, you could do in the filler while Tiffany chases, you could have, possibly a Jade. You could possibly have Nia. You could have so many different women for Charlotte at the moment while Tiffany's trying to chase. I don't know if their Queen in the Ring is going to coincide. I know Money in the Bank will be somewhere in the summers. At SummerSlam, you could always get back to where Tiffany, Charlotte in the summer, and Tiffany's just uber hot. Everyone, when just think of that MetLife Stadium when she wins, I think I will go Charlotte. I know people will probably rolling their eyes or going bananas and cursing and just hear me out. I think it's going to build Tiffany greater because if it's just going to make her bigger of a superstar, in my opinion, especially with rumors of Mariah May possibly coming to the WWE. Also, you want, because I'm getting ready if they bring up a Stephanie Vaquer or a Julia later down the road, you want Tiffany, your young star, to be over when those ladies come. They don't want to lose the limelight off of Tiffany Stratton. So my second match on the card, it's probably you're probably going to put your tag team champions on the line here with Eric Ivar versus the New Day. And of course, that will be a second, or you could either go with the Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio, with a legend, because maybe that will take away, you will go with Grande Americano and Rey Mysterio, because if Tiffany doesn't come through, if they go with Charlotte, people are going to be a little uncomfortable, irate, bothered. The rumbling. Oh, it's coming off to a bad start. You bring in a Chad Gable, Rey Mysterio, who could work, who could really work, who could really entertain with the mask gimmick. If he's going to get unmasked, not unmasked. If Grande Americano, if it's they do a switcheroo when it's not really Chad this time, and Chad comes out, and then wait a minute, what the hell is going on? Or whatever shenanigans they do, people will kind of focus away. And Rey Mysterio, who nobody wants to boo a Rey Mysterio match, he never has a bad match, so he could bring these things either back on the rails or continue the momentum with Chad Gable, who just, again, phenomenal in-ring worker. And of course, I think a Grande Americano beats Rey Mysterio. Doesn't hurt Rey if he loses this match here to a Grande Americano. I don't know if he gets unmasked. We find out who is the mystery guy underneath the mask or not. Don't know. I don't know if we'll see if it's Gabe or not. We'll see there, but I think I will go with a Grande Americano winning that match there. That's two matches down. Then you could sandwich your tag team there with the tag team champions, Eric Ivar versus the New Day, where I think the New Day go over. There's been talks or even by their own admission, they're the War Raiders machines. They're looking to kind of on their back nine, a little bit of help here and there for Eric. Came back from that big catastrophic knee injury. Ibar helps out in the Performance Center as a producer. I'm not saying their in-ring days are over. I still think there will be wrestling more. They're not ready retiring, but they're looking at their back nine, kind of transitioning into their second role outside after being an in-ring performer. They kind of intimated and hinted that. I'm not saying with any facts, but what if you read between the leaves, and Ivar, I've said it many times, seeing him when he did some NXT live shows in Orlando, being there personally, meeting him, dude is a nice salt of the earth dude. You look at him, you don't want to talk to him because he looks like he's gonna kill you, beat you up. But when you talk to him, a teddy bear, awesome, nice guy. Dude, professional class for Ibar. And if he's going to be an NXT coach with his knowledge and working as a big man, the way he works, that's a great thing. And you also see Pete Dunne transitioning a little bit as a producer to help the young athletes as well. But I still think I think the New Day takes these. I think the New Day wins the tag team titles. We had a title change there, so I don't know how many title changes we're gonna have at WrestleMania. But so far, I got 2 title changes so far going here with it. But then, of course, your next contest is an important one. I will say, if I had the creative pencil, you had the New Day. I guess I'll go with Jade and Naomi. Now, the Jade and Naomi story is going to be a good story. People are already browsing or raising that Jade, and why is this match with Naomi on this card? And again, don't misinterpret what I'm going to say. I don't think WWE cares about what people want to race bait or race war bait or bait them into thinking that they have to put the black talent on the card. I think these ladies are deserving. There's been on a hell of a story on Jade getting attacked, who took her, who we found out is Naomi. There's a storyline behind this. Took her out of TV for months, where actually lost her tag team title spot, was given Naomi weasel her way or convinced Bianca to be a partner. They defended their titles, where Jade never lost her title. And I mentioned we said this on Heal the Ring podcast on Saturday, and I guess on Monday Night Raw review, where you could have Nia Jax interfere, align herself a little bit with Naomi. Remember, that could tie into this. I mentioned at the top of the show, we want to heat up the bloodline whole entire storyline. It's been kind of a neutral, or you could say getting ice cold, where it's, no one's really, that's one of the hottest story that there's layers and stories galore within the Anonoli family, of course, where Nia, Naomi, they are relatives by in-laws. Of course, we all know that Jimmy's married to Naomi, where she attacks Jade, but they don't have to be totally together, kind of, but she's just attacking Jade and causing Jade to get her loss where Naomi goes over. Then you set up Naomi and Nia Jax for Backlash, where you buy some time, where whoever wins that title in night number 2, you could have Jade getting into Bianca's face. Where were you? You weren't there to have my back. I got attacked while I was your partner, and then I got attacked on my one-on-one with Naomi, and you weren't there. You were too busy selfish worrying about yourself. And then cutting that intense promo that Jade knows how to do, getting into Bianca's face. You're setting up for SummerSlam in the summer, Jade, Bianca, regardless, and they have that animosity there. They'll try to patch it up as a tag team, go against Naomi and Nia, and that's when the betrayal or the seed of their friendship totally disintegrating, because Jade don't think Bianca has her back. Bianca's too selfish. She's too, regardless if she wins the women's title or not. I think that story, you could tell that in that triangle with adding a Nia Jax in this fold. And of course, Nia's off the card right now of WrestleMania, but doesn't mean you could be an impactful asset to the story. And you're building story. Remember, WrestleMania, just because WrestleMania ends doesn't mean wrestling stops. There's no off season. You have to continue to you're going to finish some feuds, yes, and you're going to start new feuds for upcoming year or the upcoming program in the spring into the summertime. So you want to also book where you're going to have stories come out to continue our peak interest. WrestleMania doesn't mean that we're going to stop watching. So that's why I personally think, and I'm giving you my opinion on where that story should go with Jaden and Naomi. You got more storylines coming out of it. It could even fester itself in Monday Night Raw. It doesn't have to be all on WrestleMania, because of course the time restriction and whatever the case is, but you can have Nia, and that could be explained on Monday night. And Jade's frustration doesn't have to be immediately. That could be within weeks, where she's frustrated, telling her, where were you, by the way? And finally Naomi and finally Jade and Bianca finally get to speak one-on-one, and then in the back, either backstage and promo, whatever, then that's when Jade could have that episode blow up, and then they could kind of think like they're going to patch things up as a tag team, and then you off to the races within weeks coming out of WrestleMania, those kind of storylines. Of course, then you'll have, this is why I left these 3 matches. Of course, the main event, it's not going to be touched, but the LA night with sandwich with like a co-main event for Gunther and Jey Uso, I know some of the people says no, I know like the smarts, for like Bully Ray, you either want to be the opening or the closing, but it's in this modern era where there's no, I don't want to hear co-main event. UFC does it. UFC does it all the time. You're telling me that the some of the UFC fights that are co-main events don't deliver? Sometimes the co-main events are better than the main event. Just putting it out there. I will go with Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. We all know it kind of feels like Jacob Fatu is going to win this title. If he does win the United States title, I need him to start yelling, I'm bringing it home for my family. I'm bringing it home for the family. I'm bringing it home from the family. Just yelling, screaming, like when he gets it, either if the other members of the bloodline comes out, like Tomatanga, Solo, whoever, or if he just solo, he's by himself and he's saying, I'm bringing it back to the family. They could go in the backstage, whatever, and Roman talks to, or you see Roman looking at Jay, kind of like the way Sami Zayn did to Kevin Owens. Remember when Sami Zayn took the title from Gunther and giving him that nod, and Jay comes out. Of course, Jay versus Gunther. They have that match wherever way they go. Personally, I think Gunther's retaining, but I'm gonna go Gunther retaining. But if they were to go Jay winning and Jay getting everyone on the yeet and getting them all excited, beating Gunther, and the next match is your main event. And he's so celebrating so much with yeeting and everyone's going crazy over yeeting. He's walking his way back to the stage with the new world heavyweight title. Then of course, remember, Tribal Chief is going by himself. No wise man, nobody. There's no bloodline. There's no Solo Sikoa as an enforcer. There's no Jimmy. He's kind of injured unless if Jimmy makes an appearance with his brother and they walk back together while they're eating, and then Roman comes out alone and they look, and Roman looks at him at the title, looks at him, then he looks at that gold, and he's like, ooh, it's planting seeds. Or even in the back, before Roman comes out, they cut to a promo where you see Fatu gets in his face. See, I got eyeball gold for the family. And just, you know what I mean? And then he walks away. And then Roman comes out, and then Jay is still eating. Now Roman has no wise man. Fatu has gold. Jay's got gold. He's got nothing. He's on his own island, not even island of relevancy, island of solo, all alone, with no one. He's going out to the ring first. I will make sure Roman be the first one to go out in the ring. But he has to get that cross between Jey Uso and himself with that world title if Jay goes over. That's why I said even if Jay opens the count, even if you were to put Jay and Gunther opening the contest and Jay wins, and in a celebration, you could also go to a backstage where Roman is congratulating him, and then Roman after that congratulation gets distracted, he's looking at him, that look in his face like yeah, I'm congratulating you, but it's out of hypocrisy, or for us to interpret as an hypocrisy congratulation. Where is he? So you have that doubt. Is he really happy for him, or he's like envious? That kind of seed. Then you could have the LA Knight Jacob Fatu match at the end, where then Jacob is telling him in the gorilla, or eyeball family gold. What you got, Us, and he walks away. And then Roman just clutches the Ulafala, like. And you just planting those seeds, guys. Just planting those seeds with, again, I'm a little. Remember, I'm not a WWE writer. I'm just throwing suggestions out there on how it will be very interesting. I'm pretty sure WWE will dot the I's, cross the T's, and button things up. Because if I were to be able to button things up and do that, I will be applying for a WWE job. I'm not applying for WWE because I know I'm not capable, qualified, but I want a fantasy book because I'm a fan. I've been watching, I watched this since the very first WrestleMania. I remember Madison Square Garden. I remember watching. I remember as a kid, my grandfather getting me into WrestleMania 3. How many times I got in trouble with calling that the 800 number to find out the results every hour. on WrestleMania 3, then watching it on tape, because I didn't have closed circuit. I didn't go to Lehman High School where they were showing it on closed circuit television. My uncle couldn't take me, so we didn't go there. But then going to the other WrestleManias and watching on pay-per-view and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a fun time. WrestleMania has always been a good time. Great memories, great childhood memories, great memories as a father taking my sons to the WrestleMania here in Orlando. Both WrestleManias in Orlando, going as a nephew, as a grandson, and then as a father. It's a great feeling. Talk about generation. I can't wait when I have grandchildren, take my grandkids to WrestleMania. So it's a fun thing. It reaches generation. That's what wrestling does. It transcends generation to generation, and it just brings an escape and a love and a passion. So that's why when I make these storylines or give you these predictions with these storylines, it's with love and passion, man. Take it as for the grain of salt. If you don't like it, hey, that's fine. It's not going to happen. It's just my opinion, my thoughts, and my fantasy booking. Plain simple. And hopefully you agree, disagree, or say, or maybe they could borrow some good stuff. Hey, WWE, if you like something there, borrow it. Just send me a T-shirt, man. Your T-shirts are uber expensive, man. $40 for a T-shirt. I mean, you can send me a T-shirt. Braun Breaker, by the way, if you want to send me one, WWE. Thank you. So then we get to the main event. Tribal Chief is all alone. Seth Rollins second. Punk, because he's, of course, his first main eventing with the Wise Man. Now with this old Wise Man, this whole Wise Man situation, a lot of buzz going around with Paul Heyman. Is he going to be with Rollins? Roman pushing him on Monday Night Raw. Rollins almost curb stomped him. A lot of truth to what Rollins told Roman. Heyman chose to be in Punk's corner. Heyman might just get fed up. Some speculation have that Brock Lesnar might be returning, although I don't see that. I think his name and his presence a little toxic right now. But never say never. It could be a little toxic because they still haven't closed that Janelle Grant case with Vince versus Vince McMahon. With the court documents and stuff like that. There's no court. It's still an open case. Also, the publicity stunt or the negativity that instead of a celebration of the wrestling over the weekend, the extravaganza, because remember, it's also going to be Stand and Deliver as well. Hall of Fame inductions, plus TNA Unbreakable. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some WWE action or WWE crossovers with that, as well as Bloodsport. You're going to have some WWE performers at GCW's Bloodsport as well. So there's a lot of WWE. It's a festival of wrestling. We don't want any black eyes or negativity to come out with something that hasn't been resolved. People jump to conclusion without getting the whole truth on the whole justice. And, it's a he said, she said currently right now and we have to make sure that all the facts and the right people proceeding the case makes judgment before we, he might be guilty in a court of public opinion, and rightfully so. But we have to wait for that before. So I don't think Brock Lesnar will be a little too toxic. Wouldn't put past me that Paul Heyman. I know Bully Ray said something on Busted Open about a dangerous alliance. If Paul Lee Dangerously or Paul Heyman back in his WCW days, he had the Paul Lee alliance. I asked this question: What Paul Heyman are we getting? Were we getting the Wise Man? Are we getting the best friend Paul Heyman? Are we getting a opportunistic Heyman, or are we getting the Advocate? Are we getting Paul Heyman, the Advocate, with a new client? You never know. He might have a new person, a new client that might come out and try to wreck this all. One thing I leave you with this teaser. Paul Heyman never had the final boss's cell phone destroyed. Remember last season, I've said this many times, he had carried 2 cell phones. He carried a black and a red cell phone. Solo destroyed the Roman Reigns cover cell phone when he put him through the table in Madison Square Garden. But the Rock phone never got destroyed. In storyline wise, he still has a direct line to the final boss. Could the final boss be something that interjects here with Roman send someone? There's been, I don't think it'll happen, but there's been reports that Jeff Cobb from New Japan, we saw him with a New Japan shirt, The Rock. Could Paul Heyman call the Rock final boss, and Jeff Cobb gets put in on Hikuleo And all of a sudden, what the hell? Roman getting an attack because maybe the final boss says you weren't worthy to be a tribal chief. Everyone else has gold. Fatu, Jay, you don't deserve to be final boss. I mean, you don't deserve to be a tribal chief. And you could heat up Rock and Roman for SummerSlam, but with a hired gun assassin via Paul Heyman to go after because you touched him, you broke his heart. Nothing's scoring more of a broken heart. And Paul Heyman, that look that he got when he pushed, if you look at his video on X, flying in the plane, he looks brokenhearted. And boy, when you have a broken heart, you start thinking of other things. First thing you think of is revenge. So, we'll find out there. So who I like winning in this triple threat and why. I think Seth Rollins will get the beneficiary of the doubt to win it. He needs it. He's been the MVP. You can't have him continue to be a butt although Cody took the pin last year. But you want him to come out in a winning way because he lost WrestleMania 38. You want him to come out victorious for Rollins. I think Rollins gets the victory. I think Wiseman, we find out the intentions there. Roman takes the pin out of all people. I think Roman takes the pin here on WrestleMania Night 1. Punk is like, what the hell? Punk is going to be withered or confused or like shocked. I think and then Wiseman is going to probably pull them out and hold them down while they take care of Roman and Seth gets the victory. I don't know if Seth aligned himself with the final boss or not with this other person. I don't know. But we need some all in shock and, oh, damn, I didn't see that happening for closing out night number 1. And I think, something like that would be like, oh, damn. Because if it's still a vanilla match where, okay, one of these guys go in a victory and it's a clean match or Heyman turns and he walks away, it has to be something like that's going to keep our jaw down to the ground and like, oh, damn, this is night 1. We still got we only got another 6 matches to go on the next night for now. I don't know if they're going to add that 7th match on Sunday, night 2. I don't know if Randy Orton might get placed in the match. It's getting awfully close. If anything would have been announced last night, I thought they were going to give Kaiser and Randy Orton a match because Kaiser was complaining that he has no WrestleMania match. He's bickering, no one to wrestle. And it would have been funny if Pierce would have said, you know what? I got someone for you. I'll make a call. And you would have called for Randy Orton, but it wasn't going to happen. I think people would have been insulted because that would have been a random match on a SmackDown and Raw. I get it. But that's my WrestleMania night 1. Tune in for my video for night number 2. Do another video for night number 2. And, of course, Stand and Deliver. So this is the Heel in the Ring podcast. We ask you to check out our morning show, Good Morning Wrestling with Samuel Lyons. Of course, our watch-alongs on each and every night where there's wrestling. And then on Saturdays, not this Saturday because it's WrestleMania weekend. We'll probably be breaking that down during the course of the week. And, of course, the reviews for WrestleMania as well. And we'll have the WrestleMania prediction night 2 for myself and as well as Stand and Deliver. And, of course, let's talk some wrestling. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts. We want you to comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. We also want you to always follow us on X at BXJedi76. And ladies, we're looking for some talented ladies to do an all-female podcast, or interject yourselves with us. We need some voices on our females on the Heel of the Ring. We have Miss Gemma right now, but she's studying. She's on her way to get her. By the way, she's going to get her PhD. So we have a PhD on the Heel of the Ring podcast. Yes, and we have Miss Canary. She's right now going through a little rehab, out with a little injury, but she'll be back better than ever when she's healthy, fully goes. She's back. But we need some ladies. We want to hear some ladies. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your opinions. We want to also see your perspective because sometimes we see something else this way and you ladies see something else. I'm like, I never thought of that. Yeah, you know what? Perfect. And it's always good to hear everyone's point of view. Don't be silenced. Let your voice be heard. We're always looking to add more pundits, contributors, or roundtable, more folks onto our channel. If you have an idea for a wrestling, even if it's wrestling classics, wrestling, or if you do watch a lot of New Japan wrestling, we don't have no one to cover New Japan. I just don't have enough time in the day. But Chris is looking for a partner to want to review and talk all elite wrestling. too much for me. I don't. One, it's not a cup of coffee. Second, I don't have enough time either to sit with Chris to do an All Elite Wrestling. But we're looking for those. If you want to talk All Elite Wrestling with Chris, that's PGH Chris on X. Follow him as well, part of the Heal the Ring podcast, and he's looking for a partner as well to team up and talk AEW wrestling. Of course, we do TNA. So, we do Evolve, NXT. So we have a lot on our plate. And, of course, we're willing to share the platform with all you talented people out there. Don't be silent. I have the whole platform. We're about 50 subscribers away from 20,000 subscribers. We're on all different audio platforms. And, of course, we want you that if you would like to be a part of our network, a part of our channel, a part of our Heal the Ring family. So with that said, guys, you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you Thursday for Unbreakable TNA. And don't forget, of course, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Good Morning Wrestling with Samuel Lyons. I'm your host, BS Sports Jedi Kev. And like always, guys, don't let life pin you. Always kick out and always get over. And, of course, may the sports be with you. See you guys.